Imagine you have a really, really long garden hose, but you can't see the whole thing. You know it's there, stretching out far and wide, but the entire length is hidden from view. What if there's a leak somewhere, a tiny hole or a big tear that you can't see with your eyes? How do you find it? You could walk along the entire length, but that would take forever. An OTDR is like an X-ray vision tool for fiber optic cables, which are like super fast data hoses. These cables carry vast amounts of data at lightning speeds, connecting our world in ways we often take for granted. It helps us see problems we couldn't otherwise see. Imagine being able to detect a tiny crack or a small obstruction inside the hose without having to cut it open. OTDR stands for Optical Time Domain Reflectometer. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Think of it as a sophisticated tool that sends pulses of light down the fiber and measures the reflections. This helps us pinpoint exactly where the issues are, saving time and effort. Basically, an OTDR is a device that helps us test and troubleshoot fiber optic cables. It's like having a superpower to see inside the cables. These cables are the backbone of our internet and communication systems, connecting cities, countries, and continents. So keeping them in tip-top shape is super important. Any disruption can affect millions of users. OTDRs help us do just that. They ensure that our communication lines are clear and efficient. They're like the superheroes of the fiber optic world, always ready to save the day by keeping our data flowing smoothly. Remember how I said an OTDR is like an X-ray for fiber optic cables? Well, let's dive deeper into that analogy and see how it really works. So here's how it works in a bit more detail. Imagine you have a really long garden hose and you decide to shine a flashlight into one end of it. As the light travels through the hose, some of it might come back to you if it hits a kink, a hole, or any other obstruction, right? This is similar to what happens inside a fiber optic cable. An OTDR, or Optical Time Domain Reflectometer, does something very similar but with much more precision and technology. It sends short, powerful pulses of light down the fiber optic cable. These pulses travel through the cable at the speed of light. As the light pulses travel, some of the light gets reflected back whenever it encounters any changes along the cable, such as a bend, a splice, or even a break. These reflections are crucial for the OTDR's analysis. The OTDR measures the time it takes for the reflected light to return to the device. This time measurement is incredibly precise and helps determine the exact location of any issues. By analyzing these reflections and the time it takes for them to return, the OTDR creates a detailed graph. This graph is like a map of the fiber optic cable, showing where everything is and where any potential problems might be. This graph is called an OTDR trace. It provides a visual representation of the fiber optic cable's condition, helping technicians pinpoint and troubleshoot any issues with remarkable accuracy. The OTDR trace is like a detective's evidence board, showing us clues about the fiber optic cable's health. Spikes or dips in the trace can indicate problems. For example, a big spike might mean there's a break in the cable. A gradual downward slope might mean the signal is getting weaker. By interpreting these clues, technicians can pinpoint the location and severity of issues. OTDRs are essential tools for anyone working with fiber optics. They offer several advantages over other testing methods. Long-distance vision, OTDRs can see much farther than other tools, allowing technicians to test long cable runs with ease. Pinpoint accuracy. They can locate faults with incredible accuracy, often within a few meters. This saves time and effort when troubleshooting. Detailed information OTDRs provide a wealth of information about the cable, including length, attenuation, and the location of splices and connectors. With OTDRs, technicians have a powerful ally in their quest to keep our data flowing smoothly. Section 5. OTDR in action. Real-world examples. OTDRs are like the Swiss Army knives of fiber optics, used in countless applications. Ensuring the health of long-haul fiber optic networks that carry our phone calls, internet data, and video streams. Testing and maintaining the cables that bring high-definition entertainment to our homes. Verifying the integrity of fiber optic cables used in surveillance systems, ensuring reliable data transmission. Inspecting fiber optic cables and endoscopes and other medical devices to guarantee image quality and patient safety. From the ocean floor to outer space, OTDRs play a crucial role in keeping our world connected. Section 6. Decoding the secret language of OTDR traces. Interpreting OTDR traces is like learning a new language. But don't worry, it's not as hard as it looks. With a bit of practice and understanding, anyone can become proficient at it. Think of it like reading a map. The horizontal axis represents distance, showing how far along the cable you are looking, and the vertical axis represents signal strength, indicating the power of the signal at each point. Spikes and dips in the trace correspond to different events along the cable. Each spike or dip tells a story about what's happening at that specific point. These are small spikes caused by connectors and splices. Connectors and splices are common in fiber optic networks, and their reflections are usually easy to identify. The gradual downward slope of the trace shows how much signal is lost over distance. This is known as attenuation, and it's a normal part of any fiber optic system. Sudden drops or spikes indicate breaks, bends, or other problems in the cable. These anomalies are critical to identify as they can significantly impact the performance of the network. By learning the basics of OTDR trace interpretation, technicians can quickly identify and diagnose fiber optic cable issues. This skill is essential for maintaining the integrity and performance of fiber optic networks, ensuring reliable communication. Section 7. OTDR, the unsung hero of modern fiber optics. In today's digital world, we rely on fiber optics more than ever. From streaming our favorite shows to connecting with loved ones across the globe, fiber optic cables make it all possible. OTDRs are the unsung heroes working behind the scenes to ensure the reliability and performance of these critical networks. They are the guardians of our data, the protectors of our digital lives. Section 8. Wrapping it up. OTDR is your fiber optic wingman. OTDRs might sound complicated at first, but they're really just clever tools that help us understand and care for our fiber optic networks. They're like having X-ray vision for fiber optic cables, allowing us to see problems that would otherwise remain hidden. So next time you're enjoying the lightning-fast speeds of fiber internet, remember the OTDR, the unsung hero working tirelessly to keep you connected.